Game 1. New series, new best of 5, Meta Madness continues, and off we go. Again, just to reiterate real quickly, Meta Madness rules have been slightly adjusted. You can ban whatever you want, it doesn't have an impact on the upcoming maps, but every single hero that you see played will be banned for the remainder of the series. So technically, if you so want, after we enter, or after we finish with map number 1 and head into map number 2, the 10 heroes that were played on the first map are not eligible to be picked anymore. At the same time, there are 10 global bans. Those heroes were voted for by the community, so 10 heroes are banned out completely for the entire tournament. You're never going to see them, neither as a ban nor as a pick. And just to go over them real quickly, Deathwing, Zul, Ana, and Abatha. We have Johanna, Li Ming, Sergeant Hammer, Rhaegar, Greymane, and ETC all banned out. All of those are gone. Yeah, and as we're heading into Sky Temple, our first map in this, we actually see Team QuackNiix going up against Team Makke. Now, of course, if you watch the tournament already, you know that Team Makke just lost their series against Team Lauber. And that dropped them down into the lower bracket. Because of the bad group stage seeding that Team Makke had, they already start things off in the lower brackets. That's a disadvantage that they have for finishing last in their group, in the group stage. Which means whichever team loses here is out of the tournament. So there's that. With that, we now also have Rexa as a first pick actually on Sky Temple. And this was always a bit of a weird map, because the entire time when QuackNiix and his boys were talking about maps, they always said like Sky Temple, Sky Temple. And this time he actually picked it. So are we gonna see some super secret strategy over here? Or was it just him faking people out a bit? Time will tell. We'll see. There's already Malfurion plus Melganis. As Khaldor and Berghult lock their heroes in. And what do we get for the blue team in terms of picks? Because right now, everything is up again. This is honestly the moment where we just like need to keep track of all the heroes and just like write that down. The teams have already said that this can become a bit complicated, which is pretty much everybody is working with Excel sheets at this point. Making sure that they know what is still up, what can they actually go for. We have currently Garrosh and Reyna taken. Okay, so that's a pretty solid setup. I mean, again, for Sky Temple, you have some good control here already with the Tyrael ban that eliminates the Sanctification that you can use on the boss when it comes to a fight there. Ho ho ho! Someone forgot to ban something! Alright, that's the captain that we need, right? QuackNiix already failing and the game hasn't even started yet. Oh my god. Yeah, it walks like a duck, it doesn't ban like a duck, it's a QuackNiix. Yeah, the memes are really... It's all the confidence, you know, he comes in, it's just like, we don't even need to ban shit against you, you guys are gonna win this easy. There's all the confidence, that cocky confidence on the side of QuackNiix as they're now coming in, so yeah. Or he doesn't know how time works. There we got the Haka. They got the global in, they got Jaina. I'm still waiting, honestly, a bit for what's happening around that last pick, if that is going to be the wild card or if it's just going to be a normal setup for them. Makke on Kerrigan, and Lulcio comes in on the support side for them. Okay, let's go. Game number 1. We have one last pick, and then we're good to go. Yeah, well, Copenhagen, what are we going to get from him? Is it going to be some kind of wild card pick, or is it just going to be a normal setup here from them now? One thing that we haven't really seen yet in this tournament, it was actually banned once, is Samuro. There he is! Samuro is in. The timing. Okay, let's get ready. Game number 1, Sky Temple, the best of 5 series in the losers bracket of Meta Madness between Team QuackNiix and Team Makke. Game number 1, let's go. Let's make it happen. Makke for his team in blue on Reyna, Koro on Lucio, Max Passion on Rexa, Stalk on Garrosh, and Ultralisk on Kerrigan. And Max Passion is actually not muted anymore, not silenced. I honestly don't know if he lost his passion or not, because if he's really that passionate, why is that passion not tickling over into either voice or text chat and guaranteeing him those silences from Blizzard? That's the big question. Khaldor on the right side on Malfurion, QuackNiix on Jaina, Berghult on Melganis, Sven on the Haka, and Copenhagen on Samuro. I mean, Blizzard lately in one of the statements from a GM pretty much saying the quiet part out loud. Apparently you are allowed to feed your ass off during a game and you're not gonna get banned or punished for that, but hey, if you say the word fuck in chat just once, even though your opponent, in order to see it, or your teammate, in order to see it, had to turn off the mature language filter and agree, therefore, that he wants to see that stuff. But even if he agrees to it, if you say that word just once and he reports you, you can get silenced. It was honestly one of the most amusing things to me always that was actually a thing, that you had to turn off a mature language filter to see any of these words, and then as soon as you see them, you can report them and get someone silenced. But if you feed 15 times on Illidan in a game and just YOLO in, that's totally fine. There was obviously a statement then later on from Blizzard where they said like, no, our GM was mistaken, that's actually not quite what's going on there, but it's like, yeah guys, we know, we've played this game for a while, and believe me, it's much harder to get actually banned if you're inting than getting silenced. We know where the priority lies over there. But again, Blizzard aside, the game that they put out is still quite a bit of fun if you adjust the rules accordingly, and that's exactly what the tournament here is about. So let's head into our first map, where so far we haven't really seen too much action between the players, but we're seeing a little bit of camp action happening right now. At this point, as you can already tell, camp over here is taken. Khaldor and QuackNiix, they got the wave clear between them, two of them. And the Samuro factor is what I am actually looking forward to the most in this game now. Because I think with the Samuro factor, this is going to be the fun one. This is going to be the setup where we could have quite a little bit of action in the late game with him trying to take down structures, for example. That could definitely be a thing. I mean, he is just fantastic whenever it comes to any kind of structure setup. That's something to definitely watch out for. Right now, ooh, careful, Burger Boy. Nearly going down here. Alright. Not quite yet, but still, that would have been the first blood in the game. Okay, so down to the bottom of the map, we got Sven over here with the global. I mean, he is in the perfect position. Once that the temple spawn, which is now, he has the chance to simply move topside after taking another wave down if he wants to, but Kerrigan has already rotated back down and is escorting those siege giants in now. That's actually a really nice situation for them at the bottom of the map, and it forces a reaction from QuackNiix's team. They need to take these siege giants down, and obviously that's where the drag comes into play, so that he is able to lock them into tower range very quickly. Up here, towards the top. What else are we going to get with this? Okay, right now Stork, Makke and Burger already sitting all tight. Top side. There we have it. Samuro is still holding all of this in. But down to the bottom of the map, still our 1 versus 1 setup with Ultralisk and Sven. Now, Sven can, as I said, always move with the global into the middle of the top lane. So that's the big advantage when you have a global on this map. And of course, once that the second phase starts with the shrine at the bottom of the map, it's also quite helpful that you can sit on the top lane a bit longer and get the extra wave clear in. The hacker is coming in. Alright, Lucia is already running away here. Level 4 talents are the only thing that we still have. We have level 7 talent by now acquired, so they get that set up. Pretty much an even exchange, honestly, in the temples. It's actually, I mean, honestly, it's really not really a game where it's like too much action just yet. We got a couple of hits in against Sven, but it doesn't seem that there's a kill anytime soon, with the exception of Garrosh at the top. But the kill against the Haka, the attempt, didn't really work out. Max Passion, on the other hand, they could follow it up with a second kill. And there we go. The double kill. Yeah, nicely done. 2 against 0 for Team QuackNiix. The counter kill attempt against the Haka in the bottom of the map, or in the middle of the map, didn't work out for them. Ultralisk is now already there. Makke and his boys have taken the camp, and that is even more siege pressure against the fort now. The Haka is the one who's going to do the same thing again. Move through, get the tongue connected, drag it in, and try and defend them as quickly as he can. But the initial damage to the structures hasn't actually been all that bad. So instead, it's fairly even on the structural side. Bot lane, that's again slightly different. Bot lane has been bruised a little bit by those siege giants. The wall down, tower down, a bit of damage also onto the fort itself. But oh, really? Okay! Alright, ladies. Apparently it's time to sneak a boss. Fair enough. Wah wah. Boss gets taken, and that was a quick one. I didn't quite see that coming. Yeah, nicely done. They YOLO'd the boss, and was just like, you know what, let's just go for it. Team Makke, balls to the wall right there. Could have backfired heavily, but it didn't. Now they have level 10, and they can push with boss and level 10. Oh my god. That is gonna cost them at least. I mean, it's gonna cost them a fort. And very likely more than that. But I'm still a little bit... I mean, honestly, I'm speechless. They just moved into the boss and just took it. It was like, yeah, why not? I mean, they're right. If they don't get scouted out, then why wouldn't you? So they just said, like, you know what, guys? We know a few of them are at the top. Let's just go for it. That's our moment. That's our time to shine. Let's make it happen. And then they did. Yeah, good on them. That's how you make those plays, right? Okay, so Makke and Koro, they take another camp. Boss is still being defended against. Bit of a push in the middle on the other hand against Dog. The temple is activating at the bottom of the map soon, TMs. Dog, on the other hand, he is down. Yeah, kill against him. Job well done. And there is our temple. Okay, temple time with 10 versus 10. Dehaka sits at the top. He is the one that will have to defend against the topside camp that we pointed out a little bit earlier. A little bit of a skirmish over here between Bergkult and Koro, but there's also an attack happening in the middle with a lockdown against Quack, and he goes down. That's the problem when you don't have Ice Block yet. And he only has 7,000 damage against shield targets so far, so still quite a bit out. That is the first kill, actually, against the red team. The first kill that Team Makke got. And it's an important one. It annihilates all the chances of Team QuackNiix to go for the shrine. And now that the fort in the middle has fallen, the temple at the bot lane is attacking the top directly, so they're losing all the outer defenses. They're losing every single one of these guys. All the forts are down. The early boss, they were a little bit greedy with it. But I mean, why not? It isn't even that greedy. You can always fall back. It was simply that they said, okay, let's try, let's start, and let's see if we can pull it off. They have, of course, Makke with Exterminator as a level 1 talent. And Exterminator on level 1 is just absolutely insane when it comes to that. So it's such a fantastic talent if you are trying to take some of these things. And that's exactly what just happened there. So they simply went in, they said like, hey, we got Exterminator, let's go in, let's try and take it. If they react, we have to play around it and maybe abandon it, but we really only need a few seconds to make that work, and that's what they did. Now all the forts are destroyed as a result of the boss taken and the kill at the perfect time against QuackNiix. 13 versus 13, but the structural advantage is pretty huge, and on Sky Temple that's always a real problem if you are on the other team, because the issue is that you won't be able to trade temples with your opponent any longer, since if you try and do that while your temple loses, while your opponent loses forts, you lose keeps. So you can't really make that play. And that's a really big problem in a lot of situations. And I don't really think that this is going to be any different here. So what Quack needs, they either need to YOLO for a boss later on, or they need to just simply force fights and win a couple. Because also the setup that they're trying to establish with Samuro, where he in the late game can also go for structures by himself, more or less hinges a bit on their ability to at least stay even on experience and hopefully on structures too. So there's a double temple activating now. As both of the teams are just trying to play the macro game here. There's not really a lot of fights going on. They go for Copenhagen, they get some damage in, but if you just look at the numbers, there's not really a whole lot of damage that has been dealt in this game. I mean, look at the blue team. Not a single hero has crossed over into 10,000 damage yet. 17,000 for QuackNiix. There's at least that. Misha is now holding the top. Copenhagen is the one moving down to the bottom of the map. But everybody in is now moving in too, and Misha is taking the top side again. Honestly, if Makke and his boys can lock down the bottom temple, that would be a total disaster for Team QuackNiix. They're losing way too much already, simply to the top. Chrysalis is in, that was a good one. Still a bit of pressure against Ultralis, but he can tap the fountain, or I thought so. Did he misclick or is he on cooldown? Fountain wasn't taken. He might have misclicked, like, I don't know. But it looked like he wanted to tap the fountain, moved straight to it, but nothing happened. So either he was really on cooldown, but I didn't see him take it earlier. Either way, as it happens, the lead in experience is still there for Team Makke, but Team QuackNiix is at least taking the bottom temple. Yeah, and here's already pressure against one of the keeps. I mean, the last few shots are going to be fired in just a moment, but as you can tell, this one is down to roughly 50% HP. They won't be able to sneak in and take it, but that opens up possibilities with a bruiser cam from the top left or even the top right. Okay. And here we go. Defending the bottom fort. This would be the first fort that Team QuackNiix takes down. Think about that for just a moment. The keep at the top right, has already lost 50% of his HP, and Team QuackNiix is still struggling to kill the first fort in the game. Yeah, it is a rough one. Now they're being pushed back over here too. The level 16 talent that kicked in for Makke makes it more or less impossible for them to take the fights. Or at least they are not willing to take it, and why would they? 1 kills against 3, 16 against 15. The Haka, top side, is dealing with all of that, but of course that allows for the push down here. And again, it's Makke with an exterminator setup, right? Now this time they find out what's happening though. This time they know what's going on, and this is all going to be about the kill. And Rexa goes down. Lucio was too far away when he used the sound barrier. Didn't get a shield. Now the kill against Stalk. Stalk's eliminated, and they're trying to go for the boss now themselves. They actually kept the aggro the entire time. So this is the moment where Team QuackNiix might just start that comeback. We also need to start sending someone topside though, because again, it's time for the keep to fall. I guess Quack is hearthing back. Yes, he is. And just in time. Damn, if that wave would not have spawned at exactly that moment in time, that keep might be dust already. Bottom fort is already eliminated. Makke tries to defend against the boss. That's all that he actually needs to do. Top side, yeah, keep is taking still a bit more damage, but it's not really as much as you might have thought. Yep, the attack over here as they're starting to make the play for another fort. All the structures now endangered. Double temple on the map, by the way. They're going for the lockdown against Berghold. They can't quite get it. At the bottom of the map, boss did some damage with the siege giants, but didn't break through the wall completely. And the action is focused more so into the middle of the map now, with Quack completing his baseline on Jaina, meaning he is now looking at an ice block as an option whenever he is attacked directly. But Kerrigan, for example, makes her move. But here's another shrine that's taken, or temple. And as I said previously, they cannot trade. You can't just simply trade 1 for 1 the entire time. That is not helping you. Especially when your opponent even steals a few of the shots away from the middle and then tries to capture the entire temple at the bottom. So for QuackNiix and his team, this isn't working out. This is probably the last one where they can make that play before they're gonna lose keep eventually. Now, if they still hold the top over here, it's going to take the fort down. So the fort will fall, but Rexa is even sitting around here and trying to prevent it from happening. He's going to steal the last few shots away. Rexa steals the last few shots. At the bottom of the map, the attack is also coming. They're easily able to move away, or are they? Yes, because Thor comes in and flips them back. Koro maybe a bit overeager there with his ult. Didn't really need to press that. The fort is still there. Oh, unbelievable. Yeah, finally taken out. Now that we have at the bottom of the map Copenhagen going for the temple again. At least that's the thing. But as I said, it is tricky, right? With another camp being up and Executioner in play, they'll of course try and claim this. And that might propel them a little bit farther forward towards the top keep so that they can finally take it down and break through that lane. Yeah, slow them down. Now you don't want to fight anymore. Spell Aura, I mean, again, if you can force a fight over here and get the dragon, that's a different story. But they eliminate that camp. Quack goes for the long rotation, making sure that he is not getting ganked on his way to the camp. So camp is already down. And there's only one more mercenary camp on the map, and it seems like they're going to try and sniff that one out. 19 against 18. The funny thing is really when you look at the kills, it's 5-1. So there's a single kill that they got in this game. Outside of that, it's just simply Team QuackNiix that is getting the kills in. And it's kind of funny in the sense that they are so far behind on structures still, with all the damage that was, for example, dished out at the bottom of the map, with this opened up, with the top losing this. It's technically keeps only on both sides, but there was way more opened up by Team Makke, and they would really benefit from grabbing another temple. But yes, for now, things are just what they are over here. So there's the camp taken, and it's all about who is able to get a level 20 first. That's the first thing. Both of them seem to be able to get it roughly around the same time, so I don't think we're going to see a huge advantage there. And the next question is, will someone be able to take a temple? Interestingly enough, this time we have only one though. We have only the top temple. That is going to change things a little bit. With only the top temple in play, that's going to change things a lot, because then they have to make a decision, do we want to take the fight, yes or no? Now Samura is of course the other factor that you have. He has already locked in his 20 with a 3-bladed style immediately. And this is where you become more and more dangerous in the late game as a global, which he pretty much represents, right? And you can then try and get your damage out against the opponent's structures and maybe move on to lane and quickly annihilate that. Talking about annihilating things, Koro nearly got annihilated here. It's not the only one. Misha gets attacked again. Sound barrier comes out as they're trying to save everybody. Temple is up by now. Misha is the only one that falls, apparently. Stark is moving in, though, looking for the kill. Can't quite find it. Instead, he's isolated, and he goes down. Can they get the counter kill against Morganis? And yes, they can. An Obama moment for the team in blue. And they're looking for more. They're taking down Quack, and that could be a killing spree. As Ultralisk is starting to jump after Galnegulna, messes the combo up a little bit. Cooldowns didn't quite work out for him, but that's 3 kills in total. Boss is up, Jimmy is immediately on his way. And things are starting to become very, very spicy here, because Dehaka, he moves towards the top temple, but let's face it, he's going to be chased off there eventually too. And that boss alone is going to do so much work at the bottom of the map. Yeah, Dehaka is already falling back as well. So not only is the top keep falling because the temple is taken, unless they are really moving in for this one, but it doesn't seem like it. Keep is taking more and more damage. The bottom lane has to be defended against the boss too, and they're moving through the middle to push this even out further. Ooh, this is a really big problem for Team QuackNiix. They might have a lead in kills, but their position on the map is incredibly bad now. To be fair, it really looks like they might lose every single keep at this point, and I think they very likely will. I mean, yeah, top temple is going to annihilate this one too. That's 2 keeps down at the bottom of the map. The boss, with the help of the remaining shots fired from the top shrine, from the top temple, is that going to be enough? Barely not, barely not. But again, they need to deal with the double waves now, the catapults that are coming in, more siege shines are being taken, and you are in such a bad spot because there is still 3 forts on the map for Team Makke. So the defenses that they have are just a bit too good here. Nice stun, damn. Okay, the isolation comes in with the contagion. Quick kill against Jimmy, nice. Okay, they go a bit for YOLO moment, but if they really want to pressure the momentum here, they need to do it so quickly, because this is not only going to take the keep down, this is going to put some severe damage onto the core if that goes too long. And I think that they're going to lose this. Yeah, nobody moves in, this is another keep gone. All the keeps are gone. All the keeps out. And what exactly is Team QuackNiix supposed to do now? There's very little they can do. They have a double temple coming up next. Oh, well, actually, if they can get another kill. Goodbye. No way. Seriously, Lucio is such an annoying hero. He just zips away there. Insane. Catapult again. One completely blocked out. But that could still be a little bit of damage on the core. Should be. And yes, 97, 94. Not really too much, but of course it adds to the problem. Every single point that we see here is adding to the problem more and more and more. Yeah. I don't know how Quack and his girls over here can go back into it. I feel they need a big team win and they need it quickly. So pretty much what they have to do is they have to force a fight right away. They can't play for time. if they play for time, either the catapults on the lanes are gonna annihilate them, or if they lose control over one of the temples, that's gonna do the trick too. Now, good for them is that they have the Haka, so that helps a bit to try and keep those lanes pushed out while still being able to move into the team fight when it breaks out. But generally speaking, Team QuackNiix, they are running out of options. They need to force a battle, and they need to win it heavily, and they cannot lose a hero like this. Nature's Cure already used, there's the flip, there's the stun. Goodbye, Mal'Ganis. And to be honest, that should be the end of it. Contagion is out, there's the sound barrier, that should be enough to save them for now. Here comes the Hyperion, they go for the fight, there's another stun, it's a 5 versus 4 setup the entire time. But, action, the kill, okay. Samuro down, and Garrosh is dead as well. But now, Temple is taken. They just have to decide how they want to win the game. Do they want to go to the core, end with a finish, get the picture taken, or do they just rotate another hero over into the middle? And it seems that's the decision that they made. So yeah, shots are a little refired, and that is game. Team Makke takes the victory against Team QuackNiix in the first round of this best of 5 series here at Meta Madness. GG and well played. Great job by Team Makke on Sky Temple. Towers of Doom, map number 2, Team Makke is in the lead as we are heading into the second game of the best of 5 here at Meta Madness in the losers bracket. Yeah, QuackNiix and his boys, last map again, they get away with most of the kills. They had a couple of good team fights, but it was just simply the boss attacks that we've seen from Team Makke that shut them down very heavily. Now that we're heading into game number 2, that of course means that we already have 20 heroes banned out. 10 global bans that I went through at the beginning of this series, and the 10 heroes that were played on the last map. So that is actually making this already interesting. But it's mostly about having, you know, like a third, a fourth, a fifth game where things are gonna get a bit more spicy. We saw that in the first best of 5, by the way, where we even had, I mean, what do we have? Murky, Stitches, we had a couple of fun heroes, especially from a compositions perspective. Sometimes it's not really the hero that makes it, it's just like the composition that the hero gets played in. But now that we're heading into Towers of Doom, this seems just to be Team Makke's pick, honestly. Every time they get a chance to play the map, they play the map. It was their first pick, if I'm not mistaken, in the series against Team... not Team Hausops, Team Lauber. Exactly, I think it was the first map that was played there, and they've now taken it several times. Not only today, also in the group stage. So that's another one. Diablo, he's the one that gets banned out too, here in Towers. Ooh, Tyrael as well. We're attacking tanks a bit. What's Quack gonna get? They have first pick. Sylvanas. Okay. Sylvanas for QuackNiix. Yeah, I'm on board with that. What was Makke going to play now? I feel like that Makke general as a hero, player should actually excel in the Meta Madness environment. I talked about this in the group stage, if I'm not mistaken, where I just believe that because he already has that the tendency to sometimes go into a hero like Mephisto and make it more meta, or just his hero pool in general, just really caters to this style of tournament. So I want to see this a little bit more from him. It was funny when in previous games they actually banned Mephisto against him out as well, and this is just a cool thing when you have a player that is so good on certain heroes and multiple ones of those. You just draw more bans. I mean, when we talk about Makke, he can still play his Genji, he can play the Tracer there, he has Mephisto in, play Gul'dan. There's like so many heroes that he can bring to the table now, and he might have come up with some more that he hasn't really shown yet in this tournament at least. Now, for the second map, Stukov is in, we get Leoric together with him. And as the bans come in, you could really try and ban even more tanks out, right? Diablo's already banned. We have the previously played frontliners eliminated. You have a ban against Sonya and Tyrael. You ban a hero now, and you limit that pool significantly. They also forget to ban. What is it with these plebs? First of all, in game number 1, we have Team QuackNiix letting the ban go. Now we see Team Makke letting one go. I honestly don't know what's happening here. Are these guys just like blanking, or was that just simply a bit of a throwback? You know, QuackNiix coming in game number 1 and saying like, yeah, we don't even need to ban against you. And now Makke does it intentionally. It's like, well, who won the last game? Let me show you how it's done. We are not banning a third one. So yeah. Either way, if that's the case or not, I don't know. But Tracer, as she gets banned, is out. And that is shutting down one of the heroes that I just mentioned a second ago. So yeah, let's go. Thrall and Stock on Blaze. Okay. Ah, well, let's go. Right now we have... I mean, if this is a Blaze main tag, then we see that for the second time. I get it completely on Infernal Shrines. On this map, it's a bit weird to me. Especially given the fact that we still have quite a few... I mean, honestly, we don't have that many main tanks out anymore after the bans that we've just seen. The Nubarak, Stitches are both still up, so you could go for them. Or, in this case, the Imperious main tank that we've already seen yesterday a few times. Falstad also gets banned. Well, picked. And that leaves us with a Global. Yeah, Global, Leo rotation. But it's already a little bit of a weird draft. I mean, when you look at it, if you would see that draft in a normal game, you'd like, wait a second, what's going on here? It's the Storm League or what's happening? Yeah. And let's head... Ah, Murky! Sir Murky-Lot in action, ladies and gentlemen. Towers of Doom. Let's go. Let's make it happen. Towers of Doom is the map game number 2 in this best of 5 between Team Makke and Team QuackNiix in the losers bracket of Meta Madness 3 powered by Hightech. Game on, ladies and gentlemen. Team Makke in the lead against Team QuackNiix, and we go straight in for another murky game. Makke on the left side for the blue team on Thrall. We have Max Passion on Murky, Koro on Anduin, with Ultralisk on Junkrat and Stalk in the main tank Blaze position. As to the right side of the map, QuackNiix on Sylvanas. We currently have Sven on Leoric, Galnagulna on Stukov, Kopmark on Imperius, and Backhult on Falstad. It's already a little bit of a wraparound here as well. But as we head into this, let's see if Quack and his boys can maybe turn this around, and also if they can control the Mercmaster, because the Frog is in the game again. The Frog is in, and off we go. Little Frogger right there on the Spider. Ooh, big attack in the middle, set up immediately. Murky on the level 1 now with the Fish Eye again, and we also have the Trolling Thunder. As Murky is already playing it out against Falstad. But especially that Lightning Rod is going to be very, very annoying for Murky to deal with. I can tell you that much. That's definitely one of those things where it's just like, ah, leave me alone. Get away from me! It's kind of cool though that we see the reaction of Falstad to go straight into these marksmen on level 1, because if they are able to farm Murky, even if they don't get the egg, that's gonna be a lot of stacks towards the auto attack damage, so this will be a nice interaction there. It's also the reason why Falstad is actually taking to the top lane, why we don't see Leo making that rotation now. Leo's helping with it, but still. Imperius goes down, that's a bit of a setback early on in the game. But yeah, Falstad is gonna check all of this out, nearly missing the egg. Yeah, vision is a bitch. Did he see it? Ah, Murky already replaced it, because I thought for a second that Sven might just have seen where this was placed down. But no, not quite. Okay, so let's have a bit of a look of what's going on over here. I mean, Burger has... Backhult has actually a really good stand against this. As I said, Lightning Rod is fantastic against Murky. That's one of the big tools that you have when you try and lock him down. I mean, obviously you're trying to bait out some of Murky's abilities first, and then use it as a finisher on that when he doesn't have the bubble anymore available. If you get those kills, then you work towards your level 1 quest, which is also kind of fantastic. So there's a lot that Falstad can do to control that, at least at the beginning of the game a little bit. Later on the tables turn as the late game hits. But it's a great hero. First of all, you have the range damage in and of itself, so you can consistent poke against Murky. And then, as I said, a little bit of boomerang action to drop him low, follow him when he bubbles up, and then you get the Lightning Rod in, you get the stacks together for your level 1. And for the stacks, it's not only about just trying to take Murky down, but also about the rotation between mid and top for stacks on minions. But yep, there we go. That's exactly the setup. So if he has the ability still up, which he doesn't, that would have been a kill. Yeah, you want to save the lightning rod for exactly that situation. You follow him when he bubbles up and then you take him down. Barrel roll, of course, helps you also with this. Yeah, but always take the fish down. And that should be the first one. Yep, that's a kill. And that's a stack. Nicely done. Okay, the altars are activating. And with that, we now have triple altar on the map as usual at this position. Top left, top right. And Junkrat is down. Okay, he dies as we have the fight over in the middle. Yep, those two should be coming through without a problem. Big fight now in the middle for the third one as usual. And with the kill they got against Junkrat, they might just be able to make this work now. Okay, that's the setup. Oh, and can they get another one? Nope, doesn't seem like it. They push Stalk back. That's the first thing over here. A bit of counter damage that's happening. But so far we're still good on this. Murky as usual with the prime time slime time. And is gonna die again, isn't he? No, because Makke comes in and helps him out. Again, you gotta be careful. It's not really a problem if Murky dies a few times, but if he gets farmed too much by Falstad or dies too often in these situations, then you will just stack Falstad up, and you want to prevent that, or your frontliners are going to have a very annoying time later on in the game. Off we go. There's another hit, another setup. They're trying to go for Sven here. Makke himself following it up with a kill potentially. The fish comes in and taken down. Frog moves in, takes the fish, slaps him around, and takes Leo down. And nicely done. There's also the level 7 talents in play now. Boomerang, the fight continues. Oh my god, all of them. Insanely low. That Sylvanas setup in particular is doing wonders here. Murky is dead again. That's another stack for Berghult. Yeah, it is problematic. Korra is also likely gonna fall. Yep, there we have it. And that's even more towards Season Marksman. So far, so good. So Season Marksman is currently at 15 stacks already, as you can actually see. So that helps a lot. 16 stacks for now. That gets the activatable later on 40. But that's pretty quick progress that he makes with this. Yeah, let's see how far they can actually go with this. Towards the late game, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of numbers Falstad ends up with in that setup. And the longer this goes, the better for them eventually. So, yeah. 18 stacks now. It's pretty good, actually, 5 minutes in. 1 stack for Murky on his level 4 talent. Frog is back in. Once level 10 is in play, that's obviously also a different story. We've seen beautiful setups in the Tomb of the Spider Queen with Murky earlier, where Octograb just allowed the mages to go for insta-kills. It was actually really, really fun to see. Octograb Murky with Chromie plus Jaina. That's a kill every single time that you have your ult up. Especially since there was no reliable cleanse on the other side. Good save! Nice! Well done by him. Good job. Murky is dead again. That's another 0.5 stack, so, well, ends up to be a full stack for him. Therefore, we have right now 20 on the board. Ooh, make it 21! Sylvanas comes in, gets the kill too. Yeah, they're crushing a bit right now. That's level 10 on the board in just a second. It's 4 kills against 2. It's decent stacks for Falstad. Heroics are in. With Sylvanas, they have momentum that they can build up to take these walls down, which is exactly what they do. Falstad is taking the entire wave at the top without any problem whatsoever. That's exactly what you go for Boomerang. Bam! Nuke it down quickly. 23 stacks after 6 minutes. The dream, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely the dream right now. Okay. We still got Berghult making the rotation, huh? Max Passion gets the pufferfish through over here. Murky isn't ready yet. But it's all about those kills. Yep, bubbles up. And doesn't follow. Would lose all the experience over here if he actually did. So, yeah, not barrel rolling after him. Not following it up with a lightning rod. Just like taking the minion wave. Murky actually coming in from behind. Octo grab is possible. Didn't go for it. And there's another kill. Yeah, that was a bit unfortunate. I mean, Berghult immediately attacked the pufferfish to take that down as quickly as he possibly could. So there was no panicking happening yet. Makke, on the other hand. Oh, they want him. Oh, that's a kill. No way. How? I mean, seriously, how did he get out there? Wait, did he not follow that up with the wolf? Was he in cooldown? What happened? Did they stack it at the same time? They must have stacked it at the same time. They must have gone for the wolf and for the setup at exactly the same moment. Oh boy. Oh boy. That should have been a kill. It was a perfect trap that they actually set up there. Chinese bush meta at its finest. And then he just simply says like, walk, and moves out. That was... hashtag unlucky. Yeah, Makke is dead again. Even a mighty gust so that Makke doesn't get the kill. Gets shoved into a corner here. Tries to follow that up with an... Oh, earthquake even! Okay, someone wants chicken. Thrall was hungry. He goes straight in and Falset gets dropped into that KFC bucket. Nicely done. Yeah, they wanted the kill there. And they didn't hesitate anymore. At some point they were just like, screw it, I'm going for earthquake right now. I'm going to ult his ass up. And they did. Murky's dead again. Falset isn't here to capitalize on it, but he's already sitting at 29 stacks. Thrall gets pushed, Thrall gets taken out as we see the push coming against them. There's a double altar still up on the map, up for grabs, and it's a 5 versus 4 now. Okay, Koro gets interrupted. That one was important. At the bottom of the map, nobody's actually going for the other one. Murky's dead again. Again, it's always like half a stack. Half a stack here, half a stack there, continuously. He's going to end up with tons and tons of auto attack damage. I mean, as we see now, the bottom altar channel, let's look at that auto attack damage. We actually have, so far, Falset only at 23,000. Which makes sense. Again, if you think about it, he hasn't really participated in a lot of fights here or anything. He's just trying to get the wave clear, and that's why he sits at 58,000 on the wave clear. Pretty much the exact same numbers that we're seeing from Makke. And he is going for those rotations between the lanes. But the ones that we're looking into the late game, that's going to be very different. Because then we'll see more and more attacks against heroes from backhold. And if he gets the activatable before he goes into those team fights, that would be pretty solid. You can actually see that he is now starting to move into the rest of the team. Yes, there we go for the team damage. I mean, look how this happens. After level 10, after Octograb is a thing, and after we've clearly seen attempts to lock him down, he actually abandons the top lane right now and says, okay guys, I've been stacking the entire time, we're good. I already have tons of stacks, I'm gonna go and join the 4-man now. And Leo goes into the position that he usually has in on this map. He is top and middle and makes the rotation. So this is the normal setup that you see. So there was an adjustment made from the red team up to level 10 when Octograb becomes a problem. And they're playing around this now. Talking about Octograb being a problem, viral reaction is still a problem here as well. And they are going to take Makke down because of it. I mean, it takes a little bit longer than they probably hoped for, but there's the kill. And Falstad after 10 minutes is on 33 stacks already. Yeah, this in the late game is gonna become more and more problematic as the game continues. There is just no doubting that. Okay, so altar spawning at the bottom of the map. This time we have a solo. It's 36 points against 20 already. In QuackNiix they definitely want to win here. Let's go. With that, top side. Hey, he's actually taking over again. Allows Leo to move down to the bottom this time. Always moving away from this a little bit. Look at the stacks. This is nuts. Here's Giant Killer on level 4 now too. Yeah, so that's another good setup. Oh, level 13, sorry. Stalk is in. There's the light bomb. Doesn't really hit too much. Falstad can fly down. That's the reason why he took over in this case, so that he can... It's actually beautiful. The switches between Leo topside, Falstad topside. First, the phase until level 10, until Makke has Octograb. Then they keep Leo in play, and once they know where the next altars are spawning, they take advantage of the global and rotate him in. So continuous rotations of the hero position, according to that. Over here, there's at least a few kills that they got. Imperius and Leo are both down, so that's at least a counter channel. But of course, losing the bell tower over here, that is an issue. Bell tower is down, have to recapture that, but they actually fired the shots first, which means that they only got 3 damage points in. Not more than that. Bit of a battle here in the middle still. Gotta be careful with this. Some good auto attack damage in, but that's about it. 16 talents are also ready. So that's another thing that they can now add to the ledger over here. Okay. Same build, by the way, that we've seen in the previous games on Makke. Heading straight into the fish tank on level 13. Guess on 20, like you're gonna be the big tuna kahuna again. With slime talents on level 4, level 7, and level 16. No surprise here. Alright. Alpha Wolf is in. 41 stacks for Falstad. He has the quest completed. Yeah, good save again. Leo might be in trouble. Sven, and he's dead. The big shove just comes a bit too late to save him here. 8 kills against 6. And Team Makke, they want the kill. The Octo Grab. And Quack actually walks away. The follow-up just wasn't there in time. But they still get the kill against Imperius at least. And that of course builds momentum that they can now use to go for the bell tower over here. Yeah, that wasn't bad. That was actually pretty solid. That was a very good setup that they just got together here. Alright, well done by them. Let's see. Bell tower down. Just for the triple altar phase. Perfect timing. Perfect. So, how much can they actually get? It's 17 seconds for Imperius. So there's a little bit of time that they have. That's an easy one. Top left is a freebie. The only question that really remains is, can they get top right? They're trying to delay this a little bit. Just more so what they can do. But that's 10 shots fired. Down to 28, down to 23. And 3 shots on the other side. So we're looking at 17 to 23. It's actually fairly close right now. If you think about how this looked initially, this is going to be much closer of a match than initially expected after we saw the earlier kills here. But yeah, bottom bell tower control is something that they're not going to give up lightly. And Makke is still starting to take more points up at the top as they're moving in for it. Leo, by the way, full on auto attack setup. And talking about attacking, there's the Octograb and the immediate attack right there. Nicely done. Oh, that on the other hand. That's the virulent reaction. Turns out even the frog can get corona. Alright, so frog goes down. And by now we have on the damage output Falstad with 20,000, 41,000 for Sylvanas. But with Falstad annihilated, there's of course now a boss that gets taken too, which is another 4 shots fired, and there's little that they can do about it. 8 kills against 8 kills. It's so close today. It's awesome. It's like the entire time. It's just like one close match after another. It is beautiful. Yeah, Makke is dead again as they're still trying to recapture bot side, which they pretty much do. Yeah, the 4 shots are still fired on the other hand, so that's 19 against 17 points. Look at the experience as well. I mean, it is such a clutch one right now. It's even experience, it's even in kills, and we're super close on points on the core. It is just fantastic. It's really solid. Yeah, Quack already sitting there, sees Makke and says like, nope, not happening. Absolutely not happening, my friend. I am not interested at all in getting Octograbbed again. Okay, top left, top right. Make's the one who comes in, gets the slimes through. Has not completed his level 4 talent, by the way. He's still sitting at 5, but there's the 4 shots fired right here. Okay. And Make's dead again. He's great to just like move in, you know, suicide and try to interrupt this a bit. Try to delay it. 4 shots fired over here. 15 against 13 right now. Bottom has nearly been taken. And that bell tower could soon be reconverted. On a game again. The Mithril Maze and 65 stacks. By for now, Falstad is having 50 extra damage. 50 extra damage for him. Has the activatable ready. So that's exactly what's going on here. Okay. But yeah, let's see. The bird. Was he actually thinking about flying in there and setting something up with a mighty gust? I mean, he might have. Oh, it's dark. Not close at all, my friend. A little bit too close for comfort. If he gets hit by the bird alive, he's likely dead. But yeah, makes it out. He was able to get away. Talking about getting away, seems like this time Sven is not able to get away. Yeah, Makke slimes him down. And has, by the way, level 4 is completed for Makke now. I talked earlier about he wasn't done with it just yet, which at the time he wasn't, but now they're all about to be done. Arvine, Falstad and Leo both eliminated. Imperius blocked into a corner a bit. And yes, that should be another kill unless he gets his cooldown back. And he does! He indeed gets the cooldown back and quickly jumps over. Nice, that was important. Everybody is super low here, and that includes the bell tower itself. Hammering it away. Bell tower is down. And Sven with a tactical pause. Everybody's already excited, but Sven is coming in with a 3-2-3 moment as we have Copenhagen nearly dying. Strategical is a tactical discussion happening right now. How can we actually save our player over here? And guys, I don't really think there's a solution to this. They're looking at this right now like you would at a 3D chess setup, but I don't think that he can actually get away from this. But level 20 versus level 20 is already on the board. Sven pausing the game. The tactical situation has to be analyzed right now, and I think we can all agree that this bell tower is going to fall after the kill against Imperius comes in. The only question is, what is Falstad going to do? With 38 seconds on the timer before he comes back into the game, it's unlikely that he can fly topside to grab one of these altars. Granted, 18 seconds are still remaining until they get activated, but the blue team is going to make the move here. 13 against 15 right now. It's super close, it's super clutch, but if that bell tower gets actually taken by the blue team, and indeed actually it already did, sorry, my bad, they don't even have to reclaim it. So it's a 5 versus 3 situation. They can easily move into the middle after they get the kill, claim another bell tower, make it a 6 versus 2 situation, and then move likely in order to take this one. Move over, take the second. That's 12 points fired then. Would put them down 2-3. And as you can see, this one is out of the question. It's 2 minutes and 34 seconds. It's just a little bit too much to wait it out on. But maybe capturing the top is possible too. And if they can start the barrage, that would be fucking fantastic for them. So the game might actually end here. Now Leo's going to be back. He's only on 11 seconds. And thanks to him rocking the Austin's renewal here, they won't have a problem whatsoever to get him back into play soon enough. But Falstad being down for this long is an issue. Imperius now dying too means that it will be a 5 versus 3 setup as we are looking at that top side altar phase. So it will be tricky. Falstad, he's been stacking the entire game and is finally in a scenario where he can try and get some hero damage out. But as it turns out, he is currently looking at least a ton of siege damage that we have with all of this. So that might help him a little bit. But yeah, the only one that hasn't died yet, by the way, is Stukov. And as it turns out, Sylvanas, hello? QuackNiix hasn't fallen yet? What is this? Is there a new god mode that I don't know about? Some cheat code hacks or what's happening? QuackNiix hasn't died yet? That's suspicious to say the least. Yeah, but there's the kill against Imperius as the game continues, as you would expect. And now the move towards the middle is gonna happen. They're not gonna hesitate at all here. This one is an easy one to take, and that will put them into a great spot. By the way, whew, what a minion wave. Holy shit. Well, and then it's gone. So, the power of Sylvanas, ladies and gentlemen. So now with the one in the middle taken, Makke is already taking position, and this will put them down to 3 points. If they can get the one at the top, that would be great. Leo is claiming the bottom, Sylvanas moving in to counteract that. There's the shots fired. First 6 are connected, 9 points against 13. This is going to be the next 6 once that the top right has been taken. And that's the situation right now. 13 against 3 points as Koro gets the channel through. 2 bell towers of the red team have been converted. And QuackNiix, I mean, again, they are... It feels like the early game is always going well for them. And then it's just simply the late game where they start to struggle, where we have a fantastic setup for Team Makke. Just the coordination that they have in those situations. So there's the 3 pumpkins moving in. Copenhagen is the one to deal with that. Bell tower in the middle has been reconverted too. Not that it really matters all that much. It matters a bit for map control, but it doesn't really matter for the outcome of the next fight. Because with 2 altars coming up, the problem is simply that no matter what's going on, you get one of these altars and it is lights out for the team. This time Stork is pausing the game, so apparently no, Ultralisk is still in here. So I'm not quite sure. He didn't have actually any problems today. We already went through an entire best of 5 series without Ultralisk having any issues whatsoever. So it may be a bit more of a technical issue that we're looking at from the team. But as it stands, Falstad with the global, he's going to play a huge role. He at least is in a position where he can continuously take these pumpkins down as they're taken topside. So even though the top bell tower isn't theirs, this should really in the long run work out in favor of Falstad. Even using the activatable for this quickly. The problem is really what happens once they are forced into the fight at the bottom of the map. That's the bigger issue. Falstad is actually still trying to reclaim top. He can easily use the wave clear here. Apparently they want him at the bottom of the map. The call has been made. He's flying in. They're trying to go for the fight here. Oh, careful. Octo grab, baby. And Makke is down, but that was scary. They even used the Riptire setup to have an Octo grab and try to make it work. He went, by the way, into his ult too, the extra oomph. I mean, that cooldown reduction here is kind of insane. And the bell tower is now converted again. Ooh, it's getting problematic here. It's getting really difficult. At this point, I don't really know how you will hold that bottom altar. The mid altar doesn't really pose a problem. The problem is the one at the bottom because it's so tricky to get towards this. Makke is down. Well, going to be back in a second. Thrall with his ult as he tries to slow them down. Nobody's channeling the bottom on the other hand. Imperius is a little bit low. Junkrat, Ultralisk, he starts to channel up. Is somebody actually... does somebody see this? QuackNiix, he sees it, of course. Moves in right away, trying to get the kill. Falstad and Sylvanas both attempting to make the play. There's the wind tunnel. The Makke setup, and Leo goes down against Sir Merkelot as we have the Octo grab coming in. And the kill against Makke. The bunker on the ground already. What a fight. What a fight and what a setup. But Falstad is dead. Stukov follows. And this has to be game. Up at the top, the channel comes through. And this is game. As Team Makke takes a 2-0 lead over Team QuackNiix in this best of 5 series. Game on! The 2-0, ladies and gentlemen. It might actually be the first best of 5 that we have that ends with a 3-0 if Team Makke is able to lock in another victory. Cursed follows the map. Map choice was made by Team QuackNiix. So we'll see how how this one's going. First of all, we have Maiev already banned out, and so is Sonya. By the way, the reason why Sonya is being banned the entire time, I kind of assumed in the previous drafts that you guys have watched the group stage or some of the other matches. Sven is insane on Sonya. That's it. That's all there is to it. It's the only reason why Sonya gets banned consistently against Team QuackNiix, because Sven is an insane Sonya player. So with that said, with that setting, they just ban Sonya out whenever. But the Vikings get banned out too. It's Cursed Hollow, so they expect a little bit of a curveball move over here. Team Makke has done so far pretty well. And as we are now in game number 3, keep in mind that that means 30 heroes are already banned before the draft starts. So the air is getting a little bit thinner when it comes to certain picks, especially now that we have even more tanks being banned out, and tanks are going to be the rare commodity here. There's still a few available, but it's also the reason why we have an insta-pick on Diablo now. They just want to make sure that they get a tank, and I think Team QuackNiix is likely going to pick up a tank for themselves as well. Now, Muradin's, for example, still up, Varian, Stitches, and there's side laners that you can pick too in a main tank role. I mean, Arthur's, for example, but there's not really too many anymore. So if they don't pick a tank now, I am 100% certain that Makke is going to ban one out and try to seal this one. And there's the Nubarak pick. And they seem to be going for one-shot combo. And Nubarak and Tyrande as a duo has been for the longest time just simply one-shot setup. And Nubarak Burrow charges in, you get the stun connected with Tyrande, and then you can get the damage in and you kill the target. Now, that was also played oftentimes with Malfurion, but he, of course, has already made an appearance in earlier games, and therefore he's not going to be played here. Urel and Medivh on the other side. Yeah, Medivh was actually banned a lot in this series, and now that we have Medivh finally available, they immediately say, okay, you know what? It's time for Medivh. Ultralisk on Medivh is pretty sweet, pretty good, so let's see that one through. Yeah, the ban for the red team. What did they get rid of? You could try and target supports a little bit. They have Tyrande, but there's a lot of supports up. It's Tracer instead. Yeah, making sure that Makke is not running away with the game again with all the mobility that he brings to the table here. Okay. Malthael also eliminated. Okay. And come on, what can QuackNiix and his boys do? They are 0-2 now. They need to win 3 in a row. Kind of impossible if you look at it from that perspective, but you just take it one step at a time, right? You just like move in, try and take every game after another. This is literally for your tournament life is on the line here. If you don't win here, you're out of the tournament. You're simply gone. So next double pick, it is. Zeratul and Chen. Heavy dive setup. Whew. Very divey right now what they're going for here in Cursed Hollow. And again, it's their map choice. So their map. And they still need a range damage dealer. A little more range is definitely needed from them. So let's see. Last double pick that we have for Team Makke, that's a different question. There's Vala. It's actually true, Vala hasn't been picked yet. Damn! And Karazim, okay. Vala and Karazim to round things out for Team Makke. And Team QuackNiix now. What do they get as the last pick? Range damage would be kind of nice. I mean, there are mages up, or you can play Lunara. Either mages or Lunara. Suljin? I mean, we haven't seen Suljin yet, maybe? Don't really think so. What about Phoenix? I think Phoenix was already played earlier, right? I'm not crazy. But let's see what we get. Tigers! Yeah, that works too. Tigers is also still available. Okay. Could be the final map. Depends a little bit on how the Quacks, the Quack boys, the Ducks, now do. But Cursed Hollow is our next map, so let's jump in without further ado. Game on, ladies! Let's make it happen. Game number 3. Team Makke on the left side with Makke on Vala, Stork on Diablo, Max Passion on Urel, Ultralisk on Medivh, and Koro on Karazim. To the right side of the map, it is Team QuackNiix, with QuackNiix himself on Zeratul. Nice. We got Burger on Nubarak. We currently have Sven on Tigers, Copenhagen on Chen, and Galde Gulnar is playing Tyrande. Okay, awesome. So, with all of this said, let's have a bit of a look. It is actually an arrow build for Makke and his boys, which means that we're likely going to see action towards the bosses after the 5-minute mark in an attempt to take them quickly. That can definitely work out. Tigers to burn down Diablo is also going to be kind of fun. You don't really see him all that much anymore. I mean, we've seen it a couple of times, but the problem with him is simply that his range is very, very low. And when you have to go this deep in, you might oftentimes run into a problem here. Okay, Quack going into a bit of a cleave build. I'm actually a bit curious to see how deep he goes with that cleave setup, if that's going to be an old school build, or if he's going to pick at least Might of the Narazim, since this is the standard these days. So the build right now is pretty old school style. I mean, there are still a couple of cleave variations around, so it's not like the build is completely, well, completely useless or anything. But let's face it, most of the Zeratul players that we see these days, that includes yesterday's matches, will go for very different setups here. And the pusher against the bottom, Copenhagen and his War Master Chen have taken over to the top right now. And are trying to place this off against Stork. And down to the bottom of the map, still the Wonder setup. It's camps that are the biggest priority after the 1 minute mark when they spawn. It's the actually not the usual setup. I would have expected this rotation to be exactly the opposite side, because the tribute is going to spawn bot side. So normally you have the move exactly on the other side of the map. Normally the team, like in this case, because the Siege Giants travel top side, they would have taken the Siege Giants on the blue team side a little bit later and go for this one first. But not quite what happened here. Both teams actually do it reversed, which is a little bit surprising. So while we have the tribute on the map and it being fought over, we're not going to see the Siege Giant aggression through the top lane. That's not going to be a thing. But yeah. Either way, it's fine. For now, we have Dash on the level 20. Gets the increase here. And movement speed. Nubarak already jumping out. Yeah, he's not really a tank that excels a lot when it comes to just him trying, you know, to like sustain himself throughout a fight. It's mostly the engage that you are getting him for. You need to play a certain play style around the Nubarak. You can still play him as a normal tank, but he is of course falling off the meta a bit. But in a typical kill composition, he can still offer the team a lot, and that's what he's going to attempt to do here with the help of Tyrande, who follows up on the stun with a stun of her own. And then you need to get that damage in, and I guess especially against the front line, if they can stun out Stork, for example, it could help to a full control on the bigger they are, with them eliminating that. But time will tell. I mean, the little 4 talent is locked in. The bigger they are is the talent to take on this level. You don't take stacks unless you want to meme in quick match. And Zeratul has indeed begun to go full on into cleave build. So it's old school QuackNiix over here. I don't know how much of Zeratul he played actually lately. I would assume not really all that much, but then again, I don't know, he might have practiced it a little bit more in the stream, but that's definitely an old school combo that he takes there. If he now also goes into the VP on level 10, then that would be kind of funny. They get the first kill though, they take Diablo down exactly with the lineup that I mentioned. Especially that damage on Tigers is of course incredible. If you can get the bigger they are duration out, then you know you got a winner on your hands. And bottom of the map. That's where Sven is gonna deal with Max Passion for now. The Hand of Freedom! For Urel, American Space Goat confirmed. We have 18 stacks for Medivh, which we also have to, of course, keep tabs on. Because if he loses that, that would be annoying. But Ultralist is actually really, really solid on Medivh. And I talked about this in the past, but it's one of the reasons why it was so scary when Harzobs and Ultralist played on the same team in one of the in-house tournaments. Simply because you knew that there's two insane Medivh players on the other side, and that they can just shift around who plays the hero if they find a good setup for it. Now, Vala has taken a beating and barely survived, so that's a halfback, that's time lost, and should be the first tribute for the red team, but Koro comes in with Karazim and definitely has the confidence to jump in, since already knew that, well, Medivh was flying in for potential portal and also a shield. So that worked out nicely for them. And, well, let's go. Yeah. Set up over here, make it happen. Tribute is still up, 5 versus 5 now, since Vala is back too. But by the way, nearly at the 5-minute mark, which is when the boss is going to appear on the map. That's going to become pretty important. Max Passion sitting in the bush, just waiting for the interrupt. Sven darting away and starting to burn them down, but Tyrande falls first as everybody jumps onto her. Takes her down quickly. The bird still in the air, 27 stacks, and this is another tribute for Team Makke after all. Team QuackNiix with the camp at the bottom, I like that one a lot, so that's actually a really cool setup because it allows you to go pretty much ham down here. But they're already moving slowly down to the bottom of the map to take it down before it can do too much damage to the fort and the fountain. But the second tribute now in the hands of Team Makke is a problem, because that pretty much means that you have to fight for the next one, right? So if your opponent has a 2-0 lead in tributes, you need to fight for the next one. You're kind of forced into that. If that's not the case, then you at least have a little bit of wriggle room with the situation that you're in, and you can decide, hey, is the position that we have, is that an okay one? Is the tribute spawn in a position where we don't want to take him? But at this point, no matter what happens, they will have to push into it, because if they don't, then they're going to get cursed. And yeah, that could easily be a total nightmare for them. So yeah, there's that. But as all of this happens through, we already have boss attack happening at the bottom of the map. That's the setup with Vala that I've been talking about. But of course, they knew that too. Koro still alive. Zeratul doesn't get the kill. Can they get the kill against Vala? Yes, indeed, they do. The boss is leashed. Up here. No follow-up kill yet, but the setup is coming. They're trying to dive in deep for that one. Maybe a follow-up, double stun, and yeah, they're not gonna get a kill in this setup. But it doesn't really matter. They were able to get one kill, and they also shut that down. But if Vala, for example, has a quest completed on level 4, that's a totally different story, as you can imagine, because there's even more damage done on their end. That is also a problem. Quack is down. And that means 5 versus 4 and potential curse. Yeah, that one hurt. That one hurt a lot. Now they're gonna be potentially cursed. I mean, the red team is already starting to fall back. Vala is, after the mid lane push, also falling back slightly. Gets 1 stack in against Copenhagen. Is sitting at 9 now. Interrupt from Bergkul is gonna come in any second. Level 10 abilities on both sides now. No big surprises here. At least not just yet. Zeratul, that's the question that we still have. There's the ley line. Apoc. And doesn't do enough. And he VP'd. He actually went for VP. Quack. Quack is going full on 2017 here. Oh, Copenhagen. He's low. He's so low. And he gets the pandas out and kills Ultralist. Look at this. Completes the quest. Time to feed, baby. Time to feed. The insta feed as he completes the quest, and then the double kill against Karazim and Vala as a follow-up. 5 kills against 2, and Team QuackNiix is all of a sudden in the lead here. Can they go boss? They're too low. I don't think that they can go for the boss yet. They're just too low to make that work. But well, they're tapping at the fountain and now they have a chance. But what is set up here again? It's always nasty to just see all of this happening, seriously. I mean, at the beginning it's a kill against Vala at the boss at the bottom, right? Then Zeratul moves, tries to take the tribute, gets caught by Diablo and obliterated. And then we have the ley line into Apoc set up that didn't quite do as much work as they were hoping for. And the complete annihilation of, I think, 3 heroes in total. There's a trade in bosses, also there's a stun against Karazim. But you gotta admit that the timing, at least on the quest completion for Ultralisk, was absolutely perfect. It goes down, he's just like, I'm fine boys, let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay. Now let's get the rest of the setup going. For now, boss is still up. Yeah, Stalk. He tries to go for the channel. I mean, obviously, one of the things that they're hoping for right now is also them finally getting that curse in. 7-sided strike, bit of extra damage. So far, so good. The ley line is there. Diablo, on the other hand, not with the APOC. There's already the VP back out. But Anuburak is dead, and that could be a bad sign for Team QuackNiix as they're trying to prevent the curse. Boss is still pushing through the top. The same is true for the one here at the bottom. Chen is down. Zeratul nearly got killed, but that's now 3 versus 2 on the map. Top boss is likely going to take that 4 down, but the curse has hit. And the boss is not going to survive for too much longer, but they are moving back in deep. They're actually trying to straight go for Gulnar here. Yeah, I'm not sure if they can actually get this. They want Sven too. And there's a kill against Vala, but Sven actually gets away. My god. Gulnar with the stuns. And Tyrande is eliminated. But they're diving in pretty hard. They don't get a lot of structures here. I don't really know if that was worth it. So they are moving out. QuackNiix is waiting in the shadows. I mean, pretty much literally. There's another root and stun against Anub. But that curse did so far not do a whole lot for them. I mean, they are now in a pretty commanding spot when it comes to experience with level 13 talent, but they need to spread out onto these lanes a little bit harder if they really want to get value out of all of this. So far that hasn't happened. They have gotten the bottom forward, but let's face it, the boss alone would have probably done that too with a bit of assistance. So, structurally speaking, there's not a huge lead. And the curse is over. I don't really know if that curse was worth it for them. Vala sitting at 15 stacks. Yeah, 15 stacks is actually not all that bad. So, 15 stacks right now, this is a pretty good thing to work with. There's already the 7-sided strike as we had the setup top side. Yeah, mid lane gets attacked a little bit. Ley line. Ah, it's so sad that the APOC is actually not up. He gets a 4-man ley line through. Can you imagine the apocalypse after that? That would have been so good. Yeah, it's 5 kills against 6. And also, in addition to that, 24,000 damage now from Vala. Urel, the only one that hasn't died on the blue team side. On the red team, it's Tychus, who has 25,000 damage. Top damage in the game, by the way. Ah, the Renegade against the high hit point pool of Diablo. Here's the bigger they are. He's doing incredible work. Every single time he has a trade up for these fights, he is doing solid damage. But okay, this isn't over yet. This is still a pretty significant lead for Team Makke. And as I said, it's loser bracket, so you lose here and you are out. So there's a lot on the line to fight for, and that's exactly what Makke and his team are doing. But when you look at the minimap, it feels like every single time we check it, Team Makke is the one that starts invading. They have Medivh, they have Vision, they have portals and shields, so they have a lot that they can use to simply jump in aggressively. Koro is then again also chased pretty hard, but saved by Urel for now. Okay. The attacks over here still continuing as we speak. And moving up to the top a little bit. Still need to take care of the one in the middle. Yep. Alright. So, let's have a look. Can they maybe get a bit more? The problem is really the structures. There's 1 4 down on Team Makke's side, but they already eliminated 2 and they have an open shot towards the one in the middle. Tribute is going to spawn in the middle again. Also, there comes the Panda. Trying to get some action going. Jumping in. And... also not really doing a whole lot here yet. The problem that I see is the top lane. Because on the top lane, that's where we currently have a pretty big push happening. And I am slightly terrified on how much that could do if nobody takes care of it. Because that's an entire Siege Giant setup with minions pushing in. And I think Catapult soon too. Here in the middle on the other hand, Cocoon is already out. Portal not being used. Max Passion has his ult up and uses it. They're all fighting underneath the fort. That's always super dangerous. Couldn't take it down just yet. Armor reduction is kicking in from the fort. Stalk gets saved. Needs to move back from this, and he's able to also jump through the portal. There's a little bit of portal control attempts, of course, that we've seen now through all of that. First of all, with the grenade that you can set up, that's number 1 from Tychus. And you also have the stuns from Manubarox. There's definitely a couple of things that you can do in these situations. Koro himself now gets the tribute, that's 1v1. But top side, boss gets attacked. And instead of trying to fight this one, they simply move down to the bottom of the map and take their own, which will spawn any second now. There it is. Vala is not completed with her quest yet, but this should still do some serious damage now. And she really starts to burn it down quickly. There's no way for the team at the top to rotate around that and get anything done with it. So yeah, that isn't happening. But that boss is down, so each team goes for it again. Each team also has no fort on the boss lane anymore. So that just adds to the aggression in general, and is what they're looking at right now. The push at the bottom though, it really seems like Team Makke is going to be the aggressor here. They're going to be the aggressive team that is trying to seal that in. Gotta be careful, honestly, because 40 minutes in, I mean, there's a catapult as well. Catapult is in a fantastic spot, by the way. Should be able to follow that the entire time. Is it still in range? Oh, that's beautiful. That's, I mean, that couldn't be any better. That's fantastic. If the catapult helps you out in a situation like this is just great. But they just let it go. They go for the tribute instead. Urel has actually locked it in. But the catapult really spawning in the best position possible for them. Now the minion wave is eventually going to eliminate it. But there's that. The rest of the team is now also coming in. There's a little bit of damage towards the keep at the bottom of the map. And the lockdown. The double lockdown against Duranda. No kill though. That would have been hilarious if actually the boss comes in and kills the hero. But yeah, top side, the wall is down and that's pretty much all that thing could do. So the wall is gone. And now we're 5 versus 6 over here. Okay, so Medivh, of course, still doing Medivh things. I mean, Medivh is just flying around the entire time and saying like, alright guys, I got this. Comes in, just has the vision, knows exactly where they're positioned. That's all that he needs to do. Keeps his eyes on the main body of the opponent's team. And yeah, that alone is already very solid setup for them. But here comes the attack again, as they try to control the choke point. Diablo, both teams with level 16 now, so he gets the reset on on his overpower if he wants to go for that. 0 kills yet. There's the quest completion finally. 0 deaths, I mean, against Tyrael and Urel. Tychus and Urel. Other guy. Oh, the ley line Apoc setup. Not really working out for them. They're coming in again. Backrolled a bit low. Quest completed for Diablo as they're trying to chase them out. Tribute still up on the map, but it's not going to do too much. The kill against Vala, on the other hand, that could be really impactful here. And the follow-up against Koro definitely will be. So now we have Team QuackNiix with 2 heroes taken out and a bit of momentum in their hands finally. They can't translate that into a curse, since they still only have a single tribute, but they might just be able to take a few structures down after all. Holy shit, what the hell? Stalk with the play over here. They're still trying to go for Chen. And can they make it? Nope, they cannot, but that was a really good attempt. I like that. Very good approach by them. Trying to take the target out. Did not work 100%, but oh boy. They had some really nice setups here, attempting to chase the panda down. And Stalk with the aggressive plays over the wall. I mean, that was pretty sweet. Okay, so with all of that said, 5 kills against 8 still on the board. We got Team QuackNiix in the lead, but we've seen this so many times right now that I don't really know how much it means. Getting a win in on this game would be kind of cool though. First of all, it would guarantee us a 4th map, and second of all, we might just see that comeback happening that we've been talking about with Team QuackNiix earlier. But yeah, it's all about the camps right now, and there's the tribute. And this is a curse tribute. This is the tribute that will once again curse one of the teams. So right now, the opportunity to finally go in, say like, alright, you know what, let's make it happen. Let's take the team down, take the curse, and then maybe move through the bottom, take that keep, and end the game. There's definitely a reason that this might actually happen over here. So it depends all on the team fight, and therefore the positioning of the players will be incredibly important. Already we have everyone starting to set up down at the bottom of the map. Yep. And off we go. Setup is getting ready as the red team takes the position. There's no way they let this slide. They have to, I guess, because of the 20. Damn. That takes some discipline to, in this case, actually say, okay, we're not even going to try for it. So with the 20, they just said, okay, fall back, defend, and we'll take it later. But that is a bit of a nuisance. So this wave is going to damage the keep if nobody takes care of it. They got the siege giants here. That's going to counterbalance that. But the attack in the middle is dropping a fort. This is honestly a bit of a saving grace as well, because it's going to slow the push through the middle with the minion waves down a bit. But the rest of the team is already in there, so they are taking all of that now, taking the fort apart and trying to go a little bit deeper to also drop the keep if possible. Bottom of the map has already started to take the wall down. Someone went in for a bit of a defense, but couldn't really stay too long. Diablo hasn't taken his 20 yet either. But, ooh, this is rough. Yeah, that curse is gonna hurt. Double boss is also up, so that's another thing to really keep your eye on. We have 2 bosses back up on the map. I don't think they can necessarily take a keep here. I mean, it's 10 seconds on the curse, and they Odin up now. The big red button is in, but do they have really what it takes to poke enough from the backline that is not going to be a massive push against them? I don't really know. I mean, Zeratul is there. There's the damage coming in. Okay, Diablo also safeguarded by Medivh. But, well, as you can see, this isn't looking like they will be able to get that. Bosses, that's a different story. Wall stun, flip over, gets another one. Wall stun into wall stun. Tries to get a little bit more out of it. Shen, on the other hand, in trouble, but they don't have the stun as he goes for the panda power. And there's the ley line. Medivh cheating around a little bit as he redirects it again. But no follow-up for this. Inubarak now, the quest completed, has an extra 500 hit points. That's going to make him a happy panda. It's going to make him very, very happy. Top lane is going to get the blue team happy if this continues now. Because we look at the same setup again. Yeah, siege giants are here and the wall is going to fall. So they're opening all of this up. The fight, on the other hand, continues with level 20 talents on both sides. And Uburak, despite the 500 hit point bonus that he now has, goes down first. And they're trying to go for the rest of the team too, with Copenhagen already rushing away. Well, Karazim is in, gets locked down for a moment. They kill Tyrande, even though half the team is locked into the Void Prison. Zeratul is... oh my god, Zeratul down, Tyrande down, the Panda down. 5-man team wipe as they are crushing them. They don't go for the boss, they simply just move in to try and end the game here. Initially, I really thought they might want to go for boss just to save that, but again, the wall is up, the keep is already incredibly low, they got the shields, and they're simply going to move past the keep once they can, and that is game. Yeah, Team QuackNiix, ladies and gentlemen, as much as it hurts me to say, but they are out of the tournament, did not win a map here. We have Team Makke with a 3-0 victory in the losers bracket match, advancing to the next round, and Team QuackNiix is eliminated. GG, and well played by Team Makke.
Thank you everybody for watching the video today. I hope that you enjoyed the show and the commentary. And keep in mind that the spoiler protection that is going to run for the rest of the video is made possible by all the support on patreon.com. So guys, if you want to support my work, if you want to help me start new projects and keep the spoiler protection in place, please consider heading over to patreon.com/Khaldor. There's also a link in the YouTube description, and check that out. Thanks in advance, and see you guys next time with more esports coverage here on Khaldor TV. Have a great day.